Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now here in my hands, this is the Hogue Micro Flip, which I've been carrying at length now as my everyday carry, but like a good folder, I snagged my pocket clip, it snapped off, and well, that now goes to the back burner, making room now for this Kubey knife. This is the KU292. Now this was provided to me by the people at Kubey. I've covered a number of Kubey products in the past. It's been a while. I've kind of shied away from them for a little bit for no real particular reason. It's just the way things go in the reviewer sort of platform from time to time. You just move through an iteration, and I haven't covered Kubey products in a while. So glad to have my hands on this. At this point, I absolutely need it. I'm short of a knife with a pocket clip, and I'm sure this will provide me with a great option. And so with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you. If you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now, before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Kubey who did provide this for review. And so now the Kubey knives KU292 Coeus. Now, this should be a pretty standard design from what I believe I remember. Very utility driven and just an awesome combination of sort of a sheep's foot design, a little bit of a Warncliffe, a little bit of almost a reverse Tonto, just an awesome utility blade shape. Black G10. In terms of the steel, D2, which is pretty straightforward. In fact, the people at Kubey said they would like me to specifically review their D2 knives. And if you look in the description box below, you will find yourself some links where you can get a little bit off on one of these D2 knives, which they have excellent value. Kubey always doing a nice job. Again, I've been reviewing Kubey knives for a real long time. I mean, I'm talking ever since they just had a couple of basic models. And at this point, their lineup has absolutely grown. They have some very nice premium knives, but this here on the budget side. Now, as we take a look again, D2, this has a tumbled finish. Nice tumbled finish, very even. They always do a great job with their edge geometry and pretty sharp. It could be maybe a little sharper, but this does have sort of a very slight and just tight little cutting edge there. So you can see not a lot of meat behind the edge, so this should be very slicey. I don't know if I would call this a flat grind, or it's kind of like a high saber. You can see very high in terms of the grind line that goes almost all the way up to the full stock thickness, but leaves about maybe between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch there, and then goes into that flat grind all the way down. I don't believe this is hollow ground at all. Feels like a nice quality flat grind, and then down into your secondary bevel. You can see right there, very tight little edge. Now you saw right away, nice action. This does not have a flipper tab, which personally I do like that quite a bit. I love just having the nice hole to flick this open. Very simple, very generous. You can see a nice large hole there. Actually sitting really cool. I like the closed blade shape. It's a little bit tall, so it will fill out your pocket a little bit more, but there is something to be said for that general utility blade shape. Looking at the lock up there, we're looking at about 25 to 30%, so that's nice. Inside the handle there, those skeletonized liners. So I'm sure these are steel liners. These are skeletonized actually on both sides. So if you can see in there, a little bit more could have been done without too much difficulty, but not a big deal. I just think, with steel liners, that is something that would certainly lose a little more weight. You can see the opposite side here of that lock. In terms of the pocket clip, it matches the blade, so you can see it is also a tumbled finish, deep ride pocket clip with flush screws. It is potentially ambidextrous, so you can flip that over. Now, I think it's a little bit funny where the clip is surface mounted versus nested into the G10. And you can see on this side, it's not like they milled anything out. A lot of times you'll notice that the G10 does get milled out. Some companies will put a little filler plate in there. Even if it was just milled out, that would be simple, but that does allow the clip to sit a little bit tighter. Now, this will actually have a little more pocket clearance, but you know, in my opinion, I think I'd rather that be nested, a little bit tighter on the retention, but it's hard to say. Not a big deal. Open design, you'll see everything fully open, has these standoffs held off with your, those almost all look like potentially T8s. I think Kubey has gone seemingly to maybe all T8s. Let's test that real quick. Which, yes, certainly on the pivot screw. Yep, on the frame screws. And no, on the clip. The clip is T6. So they were close to rocking a full T8 Torx bit, but no, T6 on the pocket clip. But just testing this out real quick in terms of in the pocket, plenty of clearance, goes down, no problem, right inside, deep ride, not bad at all. Again, deep ride all the way down, you can see, goes all the way down, fully inside the pocket, simple deployment, and excellent action overall. And one last thing worth noting, excellent centering on the blade, very even on both sides, perfectly centered, and a nice job from Kubey. And so all in all, the Kubey KU292. Nice blade shape, definitely utility driven, the ability to get down onto the surface. I like how the blade has a solid belly right there. Nice tip, you can get forward, do some detailed work. That's gonna work out very well. So in my opinion, for general EDC, I feel like this is a fantastic blade shape. Now, for anybody who's in the market for your budget knife, I would say this is definitely a solid option for somebody looking for something more premium. Kubey does have other knives in their mid-tier and to more premium lineup. So depending on your needs, there is definitely a knife for you. To the people at Kubey, thank you for providing this for review. If you guys like what you see here, look in the description box below where you can find links to your own Kubey knives. And if you like this content, do me a favor, take a look at my Outer Limitless 2 channel, which is more on the tactical and firearm side of things. At this point, that channel is growing quickly. I have a ton of videos up there. So if you like what you see here on Outer Limitless, do me a favor and check me out on Outer Limitless 2. So all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.